What is happening, everybody? It's the Miami Football Fanatic here again. Happy to have you guys back. And in today's video, I'm going to be previewing the AFC East, projecting how well I think the teams will perform in the 2018 season, and just giving an overview of each team and where they stand at this point of the off-season. Alrighty, so starting with the Miami Dolphins here. The Dolphins had an incredibly disappointing season in 2017 with a 6-10 record. Just complete turmoil to start the season with the hurricane and just missing our bye and losing Ryan Tannehill to a torn ACL, and then bringing in the absolute dickhead Jay Cutler to be our starting QB. It was just a lost season. I knew it was going to be a difficult season as soon as we lost Tannehill, and just incredibly inconsistent, especially on offense, and it was just a terrible season. So moving on to the next 6-10 record. Hopefully we can flip that around and get a 9-7 or a 10-6 record. To start the off season, we released Ndamukong Suh. The team just wasn't willing to keep paying him that crazy money that we're paying for a defensive tackle, and that $26 million cap hit. We just weren't willing to take on anymore. So Suh was released, and we had just questions about his leadership and about his willingness to lead the team, to help out the young guys. Even though he did a better job of that during the 2017 season, he just isn't that kind of player. He's more of a mercenary, keep to himself kind of player, a guy that was going to go to the team that paid him the most money, and that was the Dolphins. And it's shown that contract was just completely ridiculous. So we went ahead and released him, and post June 1st, we're going to get $17 million cap space. So hopefully the Finns will use that to sign a couple of veterans going into training camp. And in another move, we traded Jarvis Landry to the Cleveland Browns after the team just wasn't able to come to an agreement with Landry. He obviously wanted a crazy amount of money. I mean, he got a $75 million contract from the Browns, so that wasn't going to happen with us. He obviously sees himself as one of the best receivers in the league, even though we kind of did see him more of a slot receiver. I think he does have the versatility to go outside, but he really doesn't have that true explosiveness just to blow the top of the defense. So we weren't willing to pay him $15 million a season, and Jarvis Landry was traded away. And in another move, we released center Mike Pouncey. He's been a center of this team for a good 7 seasons, but we just weren't willing to pay him he's the $8-9 million that he was going to get this year, and with concerns about his hips and his unwillingness to take a pay cut, we went ahead and released him. But we replaced him with Daniel Kilgore from the 76ers, from the 49ers, who I think is going to be an excellent veteran replacement for Pouncey. Even though he isn't the same athlete, the same caliber center as Pouncey, I think Kilgore is going to do an excellent job filling in for Pouncey. The Dolphins have got a number of key players returning this season that had season-ending injuries from 2016 and 2017, starting with the most important player on the team, quarterback Ryan Tannehill, who tore his ACL during one of our first training camp practices, and presumed starting middle linebacker Raekwon McMillan, who tore his ACL on the very first special team snap of the preseason, which is just a absolute crazy bad luck, but having those two guys back is going to help tremendously. And also starting cornerback from 2016, Tony Lippett, cornerback, who was playing incredibly well before he tore his Achilles. He'll be competing for his old starting spot, and the team is hoping he can return to form and improve off of his second year. Tony Lippett's going to be a big boost to the secondary, along with Raekwon and Tannehill. Wide receivers Danny Amendola and Albert Wilson were signed to hopefully fill in for the production Jarvis Landry gave the team the last 4 years. Those guys, along with Jakeem Grant and Leonte Carroo, will more than make up for Landry departing. I think Jakeem Grant is just going to be an absolute dynamo this season. Hopefully Leonte Carroo can come around and contribute to the team, but Danny Amendola and Albert Wilson just going to be tremendous in the slot. Albert Wilson's got slot and outside receiver versatility, so I think those guys are going to be tremendous, and they're more than going to make up for Jarvis leaving. Josh Sitton was signed after being released by the Bears. The Finns are hoping that he'll solidify the left guard spot for at least 2 seasons. He played at a Pro Bowl level during his time in Chicago, so hopefully he can play to that form and be the durable, awesome guard he's been for the last while, like a decade plus. In the draft, the Dolphins drafted Minkah Fitzpatrick. He's just going to be awesome for us in the secondary. He's got tremendous versatility. Just an absolute football maven. Can play wherever you want him to play in that defense, especially in the secondary. Nickel linebacker, slot corner, outside corner, free safety, strong safety. He can do it all, and he's just going to be an absolute awesome piece for us on defense. In the second round, the Dolphins drafted Mike Gesicki from Penn State. He's a tight end that we've needed for years. I'm not worried about his blocking ability. The guy is just an absolute freak athlete at tight end, and he's going to help out tremendously. Jerome Baker was signed to help out with the linebacking duties. He's going to be awesome as a cover man. He's a tremendous athlete. People have had concerns about his size, but we've seen many so-called undersized linebackers have an impact in this league. Talvin Smith of the Jaguars, he's only 220 pounds. He's been awesome for them. And Deion Jones from Atlanta, that guy he might have been the best middle linebacker in the league last season. So Jerome Baker, I don't have concerns about his size. He's around 230 pounds, so I think he's going to be tremendous for us. Durham Smythe, tight end, was signed to help out with the running game and help out with tight end production that we've been missing the last 2 seasons. And then Kellen Ballage in the 4th round also. I'm absolutely pumped for what that guy can bring. 6'2", 228 pounds. That guy's just an absolute beast. And he's incredibly versatile as a running back, and he's going to help out the offense tremendously. So the Dolphins, I'm hoping for a turnaround this season, as the whole season is banking on Tannehill staying healthy. So if he does, I really think that we're going to have a positive season, 9 to 10 wins. If Tannehill gets injured, it's going to be a terrible season yet again. We might even win only 4 to 5 games. So hoping for the best, and hoping for a second place finish in the AFC East, because we all know that we aren't beating the Patriots with this team. So as always, fins up. Alrighty, on to the next team, the Patriots. The Patriots have been through a bit of drama this offseason, which is very uncharacteristic of the team. Most of it might just be pure speculation, but with players like Brady and Gronk indicating that they don't feel appreciated by the team or feel like they're having fun. But I don't think any of this drama will have an effect on the team whatsoever. The Patriots and Belichick once again will outsmart every team in the league on their way to 12 wins or more yet again. Tom Brady won the MVP post 40 years old and threw for 500 yards in the Super Bowl, so I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. They most probably will get to the AFC Championship game and beyond, and definitely will be atop the AFC East yet again. I don't see the Jets, the Bills, or the Dolphins challenging him for that top spot. They're just too well coached, too cerebral, too smart to beat, as long as Brady and Belichick are top of the team. With their 2 first-round picks, they selected Isaiah Wynn and Sony Michel, both from Georgia. I think Isaiah Wynn's just going to be tremendous. Wherever he plays, tackle or guard, he's going to be awesome. And Sony Michel, he's just going to fit into that offense perfectly and just going to be the feature back that they've needed for many years, even though they did have the top offense last year. Sony Michel is going to help out tremendously. And also getting Duke Dawson in the second round. That guy is just going to be a great replacement for Malcolm Butler. And he's just an awesome corner who's going to be great for their defense. So in conclusion for the Patriots, they're going to be their same dominant self they've been the past 15 seasons or so. Brady and Belichick working together. There isn't a better tandem than those two, and they're just going to absolutely dominate the AFC East and the AFC. Okay, so moving on to the Jets. The Jets, to start the 2017 season, were definitely overachievers, but came back down to earth after Josh McCown got banged up. I think they had like a 3-1 record to start the season. They were tremendous, but after Josh McCown went down, they only went went on to win 5 games. The Jets brass, obviously we're heading into the season with a rebuild in mind, with the purging of veterans during the off-season. 2017 was a year of mediocrity for the team, and they'll be looking to 2018 to be a much improved team. A huge step in the right direction was the team drafting quarterback Sam Darnold, who obviously was the best quarterback in the 2018 draft. I think that Darnold is going to be a special quarterback in the league and will most probably lead the Jets back to playoff contention. Darnold might even win the starting job coming out of training camp. With players like Sam Darnold and Jamal Adams to lead the offense and defense, the Jets can only go up from here. And with an underrated wide receiver core, I mean, they got an incredibly deep wide receiving core with Robbie Anderson, Terrell Pryor, Quincy Enunwa. I mean, they got a number of guys there. Devin Smith. They got plenty of weapons for whoever's going to be starting at quarterback. And also the signing of running back Isaiah Crowell. I think they'll be much improved. And with an incredibly deep quarterback room with experienced veterans, the offense will be much improved. In free agency, the Jets signed linebacker Avery Williamson, who'll be solid in Bowles' 3-4 defense, and cornerback Tremaine Johnson, who's been playing on the franchise tag the last 2 seasons, and he'll be the last piece to the Jets secondary that's been needed since Darrelle Revis and Cromartie departed. The secondary will be incredibly solid with Jamal Adams and Marcus May, who will be looking to improve off their second year. I mean, Jamal Adams, I think he's got a chance to be one of the best safeties in the league, and Marcus May is not too shabby either, so those 2 guys are just going to be awesome for the back end. I think the Jets will win 7 to 9 games and will be contending for second place in the AFC East. It all depends on how quickly Darnold catches on and becomes the entrenched starter. I really think that Darnold can turn their fortunes around and just turn them into a perennial playoff contender as long as he gets it going as a starter, which I think he definitely can. Okay, so moving on to the Bills. The Buffalo Bills were a playoff team in 2017 with a 9-7 record, but that record certainly was a miracle with the Bills benching Tyrod Taylor mid-season for rookie Nathan Peterman. Just an incredibly idiotic move. Tyrod Taylor, mid-season, he did have a couple terrible games and was putting the Bills in terrible spots to lose games, but just putting in Nathan Peterman when he obviously wasn't ready. I mean, I think he threw like 5 interceptions in the first half of his first start, so just an incredibly idiotic move, and they're lucky that they came away with a 9-7 record. The Bills quickly realized it was a huge mistake and gave Taylor the keys to the team to end the season. The key to the Bills' successful season was their toughness on both sides of the ball, with the running game clicking with LaShawn McCoy and Tyrod Taylor, and their tough disciplined play on defense. The Bills finished 3rd in the league in rushing to end the season at 130 yards a game, so that's obviously their strong suit, and I'm surprised that they didn't draft a running back to replace McCoy during the 2018 draft. The quarterback room will look incredibly different heading into the coming season, with the signing of A.J. McCarron in free agency and the team trading up to draft Josh Allen, 7th overall, quarterback out of Wyoming. McCarron, he will be the starter for a while Allen develops as a quarterback and gets ready to start. Allen has tremendous potential and an absolute cannon for an arm. But he needs to sit for a while just to learn the ways of the league and learn how to play quarterback in the NFL, which is one of the hardest things to do in the world. He definitely is a boom or bust prospect. The Bills will definitely miss Tyrod Taylor's running ability as a quarterback, but they obviously wanted to go with more of a traditional approach of the season. I think that this season really hinges on how well McCarron or Allen plays. The only way I see Josh Allen getting in is if McCarron sustains an injury. But I think that their defense will definitely be much improved with the drafting of Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker from Virginia Tech. That guy, I'm a little bit upset the Dolphins didn't draft him, but we got Minka Fitzpatrick, who's one of the best players in the draft. But Jermaine Edmonds, he's going to be awesome for their defense. He's just a huge linebacker, 6'5", 250. He's just going to be a beast in that tough, hard-nosed, but blue-collar Buffalo Bills defense. And also them grabbing Harrison Phillips in the 3rd round, I think is going to be an awesome Kyle Williams replacement. The guy is just... he had 100 plus tackles at Stanford last season, and I think he's going to be just awesome in their defensive tackle rotation. So for the Bills, I really think they can get back to a 9-7 or 10-6 record, depending on how well their quarterbacks click, how well McCarron blends with their weapons, or if Josh Allen comes in and just plays like incredibly well, similar to Deshaun Watson did for the Houston Texans. It all hinges on the quarterback position for them. So I think they've got the best chance of any of these teams to get second in the AFC East behind New England. And I really like the direction that they're going, especially with the additions on defense to the draft. I think those guys are going to be tremendous for them. So in conclusion, I see the Patriots getting first, the Bills second, Dolphins third, or Jets third, and then maybe Jets getting fourth. It's a toss-up. I mean, any one of these teams can get second. Jets, Bills, Dolphins. Just whoever plays the best and whoever does the best job challenging New England when they meet 2 times a year. So I see yet again New England reigning supreme and dominating the AFC East, and none of these teams will be able to contend with them. Alrighty, guys. As always, fins up, baby. Let me know in the comments section what you think of my analysis of these teams, and don't be afraid to leave whatever feedback you can. Alrighty, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.